Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. This is going to be the last video from Will Smith. After we're done with this one, I'm going to jump into Captain Poland, the next project. Um, Captain Poland Revisited, should I say? Because I'll be doing the Captain Poland again with improvements. So we can expect videos from that. But this is going to be the last video from this one. We're going to discuss what you can expect in the very end game from this build. Is it capable of doing all end game content? The spoiler, yes, it is. But I wanted to make this video before Easter. Unfortunately, kind of lack of time, so it's a little bit late. But there it is. I wanted to fully finish this project. So let's just jump into it. So as you can see, I have completed everything in the game with Will Smith. Well, these points I don't even get. I don't even know how to get more. I think I have to be killing like tier 16 or maybe even higher bosses. I'm not sure, but that doesn't matter. I completed all the content in the game, and let's talk how different boss fights look like. I'm going to say probably from easiest to hardest. So I would say that the first three, have similar difficulty. Xesht, the highest difficulty Xesht, is a very simple boss. In my opinion, also very good mechanically boss because there's like no BS in this fight, generally speaking. But Xesht is very simple. There's only one ability that Xesht can do that maybe can kill you if it crits. I'm pretty sure I got hit by that with my amount of HP before and I didn't die still, but this big purple hand that falls, it's very easy to avoid that. At least partially, because if you're standing in a circle, I believe that this ability will do the highest amount of damage to you. But if you dodge roll at the appropriate time, you're gonna get like half, so it's never gonna kill you, right? Other than that, we're stacking defenses to such a point that Xesht just doesn't do enough damage to kill us, really. These big hands like do about 1,000 damage or something like that, maybe 12, maybe 1,300. So if you're not gonna get hit by all four, I'm pretty sure I can get hit by all four with my regeneration. I'm still going to live. The air thing that he just shoots from his finger, that doesn't do any damage. The fire doesn't do any damage. We have too much defense, right? So Xesht, very very easy. Literally 1 out of 10 for this build when it comes to difficulty. This guy, what was his name? Olroth, I think. Similar, I would say, when it comes to difficulty. He is just a little bit more annoying because he's going to slow you down throughout the fight constantly, and by constantly I mean all the freaking time. But he dies very fast. I think he's less tanky than Xesht, and generally speaking, he just does not have damage to kill you. I fought him, and I think I'm not sure if he dropped me to below 50% health a single time. And of course, I was doing these fights without investing anything into regeneration, which makes these fights even easier. If I, for example, invested into these 3 or 4 points, if I invested into this cluster and just dropped a little bit of damage, let's just say I dropped these 3 points over here and invested into this regeneration, 30% life regen. That would I would barely see like the drop in damage if I sacrifice these three, and 30% regeneration would be massive amount of regen, right? So this would actually make these fights even easier. Something you need to keep in mind. So if I invested more into regeneration, this guy would be like literally I could be standing still and he wouldn't kill me. Same for this guy, and same also for this guy. For King of the Mist is very simple. The first phase he teleports around a little bit, so that could be annoying because our perfect strike is still relatively slow at the end of the day. But I would say that it's very easy, right? He just doesn't. These guys just don't do damage. The bosses in this game very often do like a lot of physical damage, which we have very high resistance into because we have mini cloak of flames and 15,000 armor. And for elemental and for chaos, we also have like the bosses in this game are not balanced around doing damage to this amount of defense, right? So if you combine that with high amount of regeneration, you have the effect where like these bosses just don't do damage to you. Now let's get into interesting stuff. So first of all, Arbiter Whew. So it's funny because until the highest difficulty Arbiter, I I would say that this fight is trivial, completely trivial. It doesn't do anything. The highest difficulty Arbiter I did 7 times before I succeeded. 7 times. And it's not because the build is bad, like into this fight or anything like that. After 7 attempts and after practicing a lot, I would say that I could pretty much do it consistently every single time, unless I got unlucky in a one-shot phase. Because the problem with this fight is that there's a lot of BS. And what I think you should have absolutely is 30% movement speed boots. I have only 20% here. 30% movement speed boots help drastically because sometimes the one-shot mechanics you just cannot see properly until we can actually have enough time enough time to like dodge the one-shot, right? Sometimes the meteors in a donut phase, they just spawn off screen and you can't even see them where they are. So like I think I died to something like that once. I died to like one-shot phase once. Other than that, I just didn't know the mechanics, right? So I was just practicing. And at this point, I can confidently say that if I did the one-shot phase normally, right, I could do this fight every single time. Yo, why is this like this? And this is why is this not even? Okay, the game ruined, boys. Cancel PoE 2. But these passive points. But yeah, if you're good mechanically, you can do it most likely every single time because apart from the abilities when he one-shots you, Arbiter doesn't do any damage to you. Like I once again, I can just pretty much be standing still, right, and he just doesn't have enough damage to kill you. But you need to don't dodge the one-shots if he goes for them. Sometimes he doesn't for some reason, and also you need to understand what happens in phase 2. Because in phase 2, as long as you just walk over these 2 balls that spawn to stop him from getting like empowered attacks, like that stops your regeneration or something like that, the fight is going to be easy. If you can't do that, you're gonna die. So yeah, took me 7 attempts. Given I need to be fair, after these 7 attempts, I think I could do them every single time. Or almost every single time, as if I could dodge the one-shots, which I'll be honest, like I dodged them like 10 times in a row or something during these attempts, so it's not that hard. But sometimes it's BS. Sometimes one attempt, for example, he went into donut phase, so one-shot phase, into corridor phase, so another one-shot phase, and literally after corridor phase, he went into donut phase again. 3 times in a row, one-shot phases. It's like for a minute and a half, you can't play the game. You just need to be dodging one-shots for a minute and a half. So I think that the fight, generally speaking, is BS. It probably needs some improvements, but yeah, it is what it is. I did it. I think I would be able to do it like pretty much every single time at this point, but yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to Simulacrum, which is the hardest content in the game, first of all, I did 8 out of 8. I did the last 2 points actually today, just to record it to have proof, because I didn't bother with that before. Until this point, when I had 6 out of 8, so for the first 6 points, I didn't fail a single time. To get 8 out of 8, I failed once. Because I had a lot of penetration. I just had unlucky modifiers, right? I got into wave 15 actually the first time, and I failed because it was like the worst possible. I had the worst possible combo of modifiers, so it was just pretty much like, I don't want to say impossible, but I couldn't do it. But the second attempt was relatively easy. Didn't die a single time in the second attempt. So 8 out of 8 points. If you want to do with this build, very easy. Is this going to be a good Simulacrum farmer? No. I don't think so. Unless you want to be doing lower difficulty ones. But lower difficulty, like, what's the point, right? I don't think there's a point to do that. But I don't think anything crazy will drop from lower difficulty ones. But they are nerfing Simulacrum. I do believe next patch, I don't know when it's going to go live, but next patch, I believe they said that two things they're gonna do is gonna buff loot and nerf simulacrums. So after they're gonna nerf simulacrums, it's possible that this will be a good simulacrum farmer, but we'll have to find out and see how much they're gonna nerf it, right? There's still this brilliant modifier exists. 25% monsters penetrate 25% resistances, which is disgustingly overpowered. And with this modifier, it's always going to be pain in the butt sometimes to do that, but it is what it is. The map modifiers, generally speaking, the monster modifiers in this game still need to be balanced because some of them just don't make any sense. And that's pretty much it. When it comes to all other stuff, citadels, stuff like that, obviously easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I don't think since level 90 or something I died in maps once. Maybe I died once due to a bug because there's a boss that was pretty much one-shotting you. So I think I died once in level 94 or something like that, or 95, I don't remember. But other than that, during maps, I literally don't die. I don't even have close calls. The build is extremely tanky, right? Citadels, easy peasy, did all the bosses. So generally speaking, very, very, very happy from you know, how this character functions. And yeah, 10 out of 10 would do it again. Take it and use it, boys. Make the character and use it and have fun. Now, next character is, as I mentioned before, we're going to be doing Captain Poland Revisited. I will do some changes to the build, and also the build is going to look a little bit different, but also it got giga buffed. I mean giga buffed. It got buffed pretty hard. So I want to do a different version, and it's going to be a build, of course, you know, without dual wielding. It's going to be sword and board, good old classic one mace and a shield build. So very excited to see how Captain Poland, how Captain Poland is going to do, because arguably one of my favorite builds I made last league. So and at the same time, I will be able to completely update the build guide for this build on Mobalytics. So I mean, that's even better. So yeah, if you have any questions for this build, once again, as always, let me know down in the comments. Also, I'll be streaming probably around 30 minutes or an hour after uploading this video, so you can join the stream. The link is going to be in the description, and you'll be able to, you know, ask questions. I always answer questions, so feel free to do so. So thank you very much for watching, guys. See you in the next video, which is going to be tomorrow in 2 days, probably in 2 days, because I'm going to start making the Captain Poland today. So it's probably going to be 2 days before I'm going to have some content to upload. So thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye. Let's see again. Yeah, I mean, it went fast. This is kind of crazy. We'll see. See how Will Smith does with this guy. Getting slowed a lot, so I'm just gonna finish him off with Fleep Slam for now. This is phase 2 now. I mean, it wasn't hard. We didn't have any close calls. Oh. We didn't have any close calls. He wasn't really doing much damage. It's just he slows down a lot. But other than that, I would say that freaking trivial, to be honest. It's okay, at least I'm going to learn the mechanics.